What's going on, Dope fam? Back with another video. For today's video, I'm going to do some Bitcoin market analysis, but most importantly, and you guys have actually been asking, like, when will retail actually come and when will alt season happen because of that? This video will be answering that question. Personally, I do think obviously retail will come at the end of this cycle, but the timings will depend, and I'll answer when I do expect retail to come and also alt season. So without further ado, I'm Dope Oxide. I make content on YouTube, X, and CoinMarketCap, so be sure to follow those pages. And if you haven't guys already, I actually made a video on Alien Base, a dedicated base native coin video on X, so be sure to have a look over there, like and retweet, do whatever. But I did an informative video around Alien Base, and I will be doing more base native coverages on X. But of course, the prerequisite is these coins must be base native because I'm a base chain maxi and I generally just only cover base chain coins as well as Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's get right into it. First of all, for liquidations, they've actually dropped off hard, and this reduction in volatility just means that most likely either this week or next week we're probably going to have a massive spike in price volatility. It's sort of just the calm before the storm because I do think there's going to be a massive swing in the next few weeks or so. For liquidation heat map, let me just refresh that. We're having quite a bit of liquidations on both sides. It's looking like the volatility will be picking up probably this week, to be honest. And yeah, as you can see on the 3-day chart, we have a lot of liquidations. It's probably like over about 300 mil on top of us, as well as probably another like 200 mil below us. So let's see where that goes. But I will be doing price analysis on the charts and give you guys my thoughts. For long short ratio, we're having actually quite a bit of short coming in at this time. And as you can see, majority right now is short. And it's just pretty interesting to see that, once again, that the long-short ratio is still printing red. And it's pretty much the longest time we've actually been majority short or offside since the bear market lows. So as you guys can see, the last time we printed for this long was basically the bear market. We had small red prints during this bull cycle, but never this much. And generally, every time we've printed a slight red, we've actually had a massive doubling in price. So let's see where we go. This might actually mean that we're in for at least a minimum doubling potentially. Let's see how we go because obviously I want to take one step at a time. Our base case has always been 150k for this run up. And when it comes to the price chart analysis for Bitcoin, there is quite a bit of an inflection point this week. As you guys can see, we're still sort of grinding the lower range of this channel. And just to give you guys a reminder, this purple line is the third parabolic line of this parabola. And ideally we hold this because this just means the bull market is intact and the parabola is also intact. So if we break below, it doesn't necessarily mean it's bearish. It just means Bitcoin needs more time and maybe the bull cycle may be delayed or even just ended. But when it comes to that, nothing has been confirmed. And as long as this support holds, I do expect a leg up in Bitcoin price. When it comes to the inflection point, I do expect a bounce in about a day or so. And reason being, of course, is every time we've touched this purple line, as you guys can see. So how many touches have we gotten? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and possibly 7. So ideally we hold it. And if we do hold, we're going to have a bounce to the upside and most likely all-time highs. But we'll be showing you guys charts later on in the video that may suggest that we might have a fake out to the downside and a break of this parabolic trend, and then a recovery, and then all-time high runs. But when it comes to Ethereum to Bitcoin charts, we're still waiting on that confirmation of the breakouts. We've been on a downtrend, yes, but we're actually consolidating above the breakout, and we just really need more time to see that real big leg up to the upside for the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart ratio. Same thing for the Ethereum to USD chart. So as you guys can see, we've broken out of our consolidation. We're breaking out above, retested, and we're still waiting for that uptick in price to the major resistance level, which is currently the 3K level. For stock markets, a bit of a nice update to show you guys. We actually did expect a higher low to get printed, and currently we're actually testing that as it stands right now. So this yellow arbitrary line was made probably like 2 weeks ago, and our base case has been a retest of his macro trend line, and then an uptick in price, and probably on its way to all-time highs. And as you guys can actually see, I think it was yesterday's candle where we actually gapped down and retested this macro trend line. And I wouldn't be surprised we test it once again, just because it was a bit early. And then we have an uptick in price and actually treat that as support once again. The reason why this is so significant, and a reminder to you guys, this whole macro trend line has been intact since the bull market for the stock market at the beginning of October 2022. And we've touched it how many times now? We've touched it 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5. So ideally this holds, because this just means the bull market for the stock market is intact. And of course, we want the bull market for stocks to keep going, because that generally just means crypto most likely will stay risk on. And as you guys can see, we're testing it successively right now, but I would not be surprised another retest comes this week or next week. And then once that's confirmed that we've tested it properly, we can go ahead and make our way to all-time highs and have the last parabolic phase to the stock market. Next part of the video is tweets, and also just a post from CoinMarketCap that I found really interesting. So this goes around the echo chamber effect. This just means when the retail comes in and things just get really noisy. So looking at this chart, it's basically telling you when retail has came in. And as you guys can see, the last time we've printed this much retail participation was back in 2024, January to April. And to be honest, if I was to chart this up, this is exactly how I would have done it, because when it comes to the bull market really and alt season, the only time I really felt that the bull market felt similar to the previous bull market, because obviously I participated in the 2021 bull market all year. I was around the whole bull market. And the last time I felt this amount of euphoria from 2021 was only really back in of January 2024 to April. And it shows on the charts. So as you guys can see already on the charts, the last time we've had this much euphoria and retail participation was back in 2024 January. And just looking at the chart alone, you can sort of see why that was the case. Because if I look at the Bitcoin chart, let me just zoom back at it where it was. So we had that mass euphoria around this key level here. So around this level was the mass euphoria from this bull cycle and the most amount of retail participation we've had this bull cycle. And as you can see, what led before it was a massive move up. So from the bottom to the top, we had a 190% move, and we technically had about 2 doublings within that move. So we had a doubling, we had a 94% move before massive retrace, and pretty much shortly after we had another retrace and another doubling, about a 85%. So just looking at this alone, it pretty much means to me for this bull cycle to get retail participation again, we're gonna need at least another doubling, if not more. And basically, I can really only expect the Bitcoin retail participation to really kick in once we're at least near the 130k range. Of course, our target has always been the 150k. To give you guys the answer, look, we're gonna need at least 130k Bitcoin, in my opinion, to see some retail, and most likely it will have to be 150k and beyond. And obviously, it's not disheartening to you guys. It's just more, we just have to wait, because it looks like retail only really going to come in when Bitcoin's at a crazy price and everyone's making money again. And as you guys can see, the last time we've had this massive amount of retail was only when Bitcoin had a massive monster move. And the verdict is we just got to wait. And my base case is around the 150k, maybe the 130k region is when we see some retail kicking in, if not more. So who knows? We might actually need that 150k run, and then another retracement, and then maybe even another doubling just to see that retail to come in. I will be monitoring it. Obviously, when we're at the 150k region, I will check the analysis when it comes to retail adoption and how much retail people are in. Because as it stands right now, there is 0 retail participation. The Google Trends are pretty much 0 right now, and of course, alt season isn't here yet. So when it comes to a prerequisite of alt season, ideally we need retail to come in, because they usually buy the tops and euphoria. Definitely the verdict is just wait, and my base case is for retail participation to come around at the minimum 130k Bitcoin, if not 150k. Next tweet is by Blunts Crypto. He's actually expecting a sweep on the lows at about the 105k region, as you guys can see, in the next day or so. And to be honest, I'm not sure if that's going to happen, because obviously looking back at my parabolic trend line, let me just clear that out. We could get a fake out, and if it was to happen, if we go down to the 105k region, I do not want the weekly close to happen below this region, because that will most likely mean there is weakness in the charts, and the fake out isn't actually a fake out, and it's more just a trend change and we just go lower prices. So if it was to happen, I would like the chart to look like this, where we sweep down below quickly and then have a massive uptick in price after that. And I do not want it lasting longer than a week. So this could happen, but just keep in mind, for continuation to happen for this parabolic trend, we need the price to quickly change and reverse after that. Next way is by TechDev. So this is just amazing altcoin compression chart. As you guys can see, this is actually the 2 monthly chart, and this is a massive chart in the making. It's actually been pretty much intact since 2022, and we're just having a massive squeeze right now. As you guys can see, the Bollinger Bands are actually compressing, and the last time we had this compression, we had a massive monster move, and we're actually compressing once again. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Bollinger Bands compress once again, and that would probably most likely mean that the uptick in price for altcoin market cap is going to be absolutely massive. And then I do expect the bear market to happen shortly after. But nonetheless, when it comes to the result of these compressions, this chart just looks like it really wants to go up. Who knows, it might take another 4 months, so another 2 candles. But in my opinion, the base case is breaking out of this compression, and then we're just going to have a monster rally. And most likely, retail will be participating because prices will be so much higher, and there'll be just mass euphoria and attracting all the retail participants. Next way is by Credible Crypto, and this is actually similar to Blunt's. So he does expect a sweep above us as well as a sweep below. And my base case is, if this was to happen, it'll be a sharp V reversal and then upwards to new all-time highs and price discovery. So let's see where that goes. When it comes to the inflection point, of course, we pretty much have within 2 days of this actually happening. Let's get the results. Let's see what's going to happen, because I will be updating you guys this week. And make sure to ring the bell, like and subscribe, because you don't want to be missing that video. Next tweet is by Semka. This is just to do with just Elliott Wave theory and what he thinks. And when it comes to that, I do believe this is probably the base case for Bitcoin. And it just depends how you interpret it. Because there is 2 ways of interpreting it. He thinks we're in actually a wave 1, wave 2 of a wave 3 right now. If that was the case, we would easily go to the 150k region, and then a retracement, and then another doubling to that for the 300k price point. So let's see where that goes, because it depends how you interpret it. You could also interpret it that this is a wave 1, wave 2, then a wave 3, wave 4, then wave 5, and then Bitcoin tops out at the 150k region. But of course, there is invalidations, and let's see how we go, because it is going to be tough to actually time the top and see where we're at. But to be honest, when it comes to Confluence, if we're at the end of wave 3 and retail adoption and retail participation is still not in, I would then expect, probably we're actually about to come into a wave 4 and have a monster rally after that, where we actually see retail coming in at the 150k region. So let's see where that goes. When it comes to that, I will be relaying you guys the data and the charts. And as it stands right now, there is not much more to say. And just to give a recap, Bitcoin's inflection point once again is in the next 2 days. And ideally, we see a bounce to the upside. And if we do get that fake out, we need a sharp V reversal and then upwards continuation. But that's all to the video, guys. If you guys like the video, like and subscribe. Comment down below if you guys want to see any base native coins coverage on X. I will be doing more base native coverages on my X page, because my Dope Oxide page on X is actually way more base native. So I just thought it would probably make more sense to make base coin native videos on my X page. My last video from yesterday was actually alien based video on X. So be sure to watch those videos, because I do cover not even just a coin. I cover why I'm actually bullish on base chain, and why I think that once base chain really kicks off, the coins I cover will most likely garner the inflows and volume metrics from base chain. So be sure to watch the videos, because they're pretty informative in my opinion, and it just gives you a better understanding of why I'm actually bullish on base chain itself and the coins underneath them. So that's all to the video, guys. Have a good one. Peace.